proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
Frozen, that is why you are a godsend. Thank you so much. Yeah, again, guys, big thank you to everybody that's coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping me company. This is the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. Big thank you to the one and only Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our United States Army with this series now for the second full season. Colonel Ross, if you're out there either in the land of Twitch or YouTube, I definitely appreciate you. Man, Frozen, I still have last night's debacle going through my head. I promise you, I can do math a whole lot better than I did last night in my head. And when he asked me what, how many, sets of tires to laps, I'm thinking 8 into 267. Your first number is going to be a 3. 8 into 24 is 3. But I said 2 instead of a 3. I'm thinking 32, 33. I was cracking up about that earlier. It just kept on ringing through my head. Giovanni Klein now out here in this number 84 Toyota TRD machine. Looks like though the only one that hasn't yet taken a lap is going to be Elric George. And as you can see, they're on the scoring pylon as the 84 get bad loose coming up and off of turn number 4 at the entrance of the trioval. Just goes completely slideways. Right now, though, shows Justin Anscock on that pole. So what do you say? Let's go ahead and clear the pylon, and let's go through our grid. Here we go, now. All right. So grid looks like Justin Anscock has Austin Con... no, okay, for some reason the grid is reversed, but that's okay. I can fix that at another time. Justin Anscock in that number 13 on the pole with Austin Collins to his outside in the 74. P3 is going to be Scott Rickard in the 05 with Andrew Chapman in the 25. P4. P5 looks like Tom Harmon in that Avril Lavigne number 68 with Tristan Bailey welcoming him back to the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series ranks in that number 4. P7 in the 81 is going to be none other than John Osborne with Cole Snyder in the 24 to his outside. Kenny Lind and Mike Miller round out row number 5 with Stan Carnathan and Jose Ruiz for our top 12 drivers. P13 looks like it's going to be Evan Knopp in the 63 with Josh Taylor in the 30 to his outside. Brad Rivers in that 88 sitting P15 with the one and only Jimmy Cocker in that 20, P16. P17 Mike Carter in the 18 with Chris Weaver to round out row number 9 in his Fox 8 Plus machine. P19 looks like Davey Weaver in the 28 with Jordan Anderson in the 3. Mike Papa Bear Campbell in the 71 sitting 21st with Claire Murphy sitting in that double deuce spot in the deuce. Maybe that'll be a great omen for him. We'll have to see. 23rd is going to be Justin Burden in the 51 with Giovanni Klein in the 84 sitting P24. P25 looks like it's going to be Chris Murphy in that 7 with Brian Pizzicemi in the 78 sitting P26. Last but not least, the Nassau assassin, the one and only Elric George in that number 40. So again, 27 bad mother truckers getting ready to take the green here from Texas Motor Speedway. It's going to be a phenomenal race. Definitely want to welcome everybody that's here on behalf of everybody here at Turn Down for What, Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. It's going to be a hell of a show. Glad you're here. Stick around. Looking forward to, chatting it up, keeping me company, keeping everybody else company. I see Evan the car guy. Again, Frozen's out there. Definitely had a lot to do with this track over this week between officials and a very long race last night with the one and only HD Motorsports or Nick Vroman or Vroom over on the land of Twitch. But yeah, let's get ready to go. Cannot wait to see how this fires off. Very fast track. Unfortunately, a whole lot of one-lane action, but that just means you really got to race the track. And if you're daring enough to try that high side, God be with you. All right. So we're going to bring it on over to the starter cam. Barney's already got that green flag in hand. Let's go ahead and clear out your grid. Let's go ahead and bring up your scoring pylon as well as your track map. Let's get ready to roll. Pace car makes that hard left down pit road. Justin Hanscock, Austin Collins getting ready to stab that loud pedal. Freak flag, let's go. All right, so it looks like the first lap is going to go ahead and be led by the one and only 13 of Justin Hanscock. Austin Collins going to fill in right behind. Then the 05 of Scott Rickard. To the outside is going to be Andrew Chapman in that 25. Everybody's going to fill up all the way down the backstretch on that high side. 25 going to try to sneak underneath the 13 of Justin Hanscock. Nothing doing there. Justin's going to go ahead and pick up that line, shove all that dirty air on the nose of the 2.5, and Justin's going to go ahead and continue to lead. Behind them, though, again, a very, very stout field this evening. You see Scott Rickard right now, and Andrew Chapman in P2 just went purple to a tone of 30.49. So absolutely getting it done around Texas Motor Speedway. One guy I was told to watch out for a little bit earlier, this guy right here, Josh Taylor, in this number 30 Valvoline machine. A little bit of a throwback to the one and only Mark Martin. Josh, very, very fast in practice. Definitely thinks he's going to be able to get on up there and lead a ton of laps. I'd like to see that. Been doing very, very well, not only here, but also in Shake It Bake on Monday evenings. If you haven't already seen or heard, if it has been put out in the land of X or Twitter or whatever, tomorrow night there will not be a Shake It Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series race from Charlotte. That race has been put off 1 week, so we'll see you in 1 full week for what will be the longest race of the year and the Queen City, the beast of the Southeast, whatever you want to say. But it's going to be a phenomenal race. You're definitely not going to want to miss it. Pull up some driver details, shall we? That way, as we're going through, kind of keep up with us. There you go. Oh, I forgot a couple things. Yes, I did. There we go. Now we're full, right? Yeah. How about that? All right. So still up front. We do have a new leader. Andrew Chapman in the 25 was able to get on by. Let's actually go back and see exactly how that happened because Andrew was definitely digging on that bottom. So let's go back and see exactly how this was set up. You see Justin kind of opened up that bottom line. The 25 completely filled it. 13 looks like there was a gap behind him, so able to slide right in front of the 74 of Austin Collins, and that's how the pass happened. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right. And just as I say that, 13 trying to fight back to his inside. And he's got a somewhat newcomer back to the Turned Out For What iRacing Truck Series ranks, talking about Tristan Bailey. Guy used to run a long, long time ago in the NNR Series back on console. I think they had one season here on iRacing, and then the season or the community just completely dissolved. But yeah, Tristan Bailey back, and definitely a welcome, I guess you could say, re-addition to the Turned Out For What iRacing Truck Series ranks. Austin Collins still right behind. Scott Rickard in that 05. Scott right now right in front of the 68 of Tom Harmon and his Avril Lavigne machine. It's weird, on Monday nights, Tom Harmon runs a frozen scheme. Completely throws me off every time I see him out there because I'm so used to, I think in 5 seasons that I've been covering the Shake It Bake series, he's always run this kind of a scheme. whether it's a cup car or whatever, and here he is back on trucks. But yeah, it's a weird scheme. But all right, Cole Snyder out here as well. I'll tell you what, if this was a super speedway, this man is a threat every single week. Definitely knows how to get it done on any super speedway, whether it's Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, or even the iRacing super speedway. That's like what would we call it? Maybe Martinsville on steroids. It's basically 30. I'm sorry. It's probably about 30 times as big. It's 3 miles. And the banking is just monstrous. It's a fun track. You're talking like 240 by yourself. It's a whole lot of fun. But yeah, very, very, very fast driver. Right behind him is going to be Mike Miller in his number 5 machine. Mike also very, very quick. Right now he's got a whole gaggle of cars. A little bit of a gap between him and Josh Taylor. Behind Josh Taylor is going to be Kenny Lynn in this 57 machine. And then another guy that I recognize very well, the 20 of the one and only Jimmy Cocker in his famed Virginia Tech colors. John Osborne and Giovanni Klein right behind him. And then you've got Stan Carnathan and Jose Ruiz. That's going to be your top 15. 16th right now is going to be Jordan Anderson in this Bomb Pop number 3. Then the 28th of Davey Weaver in his Krispy Kreme machine. Mike Carter sitting 18th in this number 18. Good to see a new paint scheme out there. Good old Interstate batteries that's been run for years and years. And then, of course, the one and only Mike Pop Bear Campbell. It is Motorcraft number 71. Nice looking scheme, very, very clean. I tell you what, if you watch the race today, I hated to see Josh Berry get wrecked out from the lead, or I shouldn't say wrecked out, but wrecked from the lead, spun it around. Very, very unfortunate for him. Justin Burden right behind him in his Carhartt number 51. Right now he's sitting P20, up 3 spots. Chris Murphy right now in this number 7 Ford F-150. His DAV number 7. And then Chris Weaver. Got to pay a little attention to this guy. I tell you what. Racing Report with Chris Weaver. This is a brand new channel on My Fox 8 Plus. It's I want to say it's an Amazon. It's a Roku, or it may not be Amazon. I think it's Apple Plus, Roku, Fire Stick, and I think one other. But basically, you can actually go back and watch the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans.com in a short 30-minute condensed version on Fox. How awesome is that? So big, big thank you to Chris Weaver and all of his journalism endeavors. The guy does a great job, and for him to be able to put the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series, the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series, and I believe there's one other as well. I'm not quite sure if all the details of that were hammered out or not, but big, big thank you again to the one and only Chris Weaver. Evan Cannot behind him in his Moza number 63. Evan's down 11 spots after the restart, blinking out a little bit. Not quite sure if that is why. And then you've got the 78 of Brian Pizzagemi. Brian loves to start in the rear of these races, I think, just for the challenge of trying to fight his way through the field. Behind him is going to be Claire Murphy in the Deuce, and then the one and only Elric George in this number 40 machine. Elric kind of getting a little too friendly with that apron, got a little loose. Looks like he is not driving a very well handling truck this evening. I'm hoping that maybe he can get that thing straightened out as the race goes on and is able to complete all 167 laps. All right, back up front, Justin Aniscock in that rowdy number 13. He is back in the lead now with about a half second over Andrew Chapman, Tristan Bailey, Tom Harmon, and Austin Collins, rounding out your top 5. Let's take a look at some. Go ahead and take a look at some lap times, shall we? Let me go ahead and clear this, and we'll take a look just inside the top 3 for now. Since we were able to see Justin Aniscock go ahead and get back into the lead, you take a look. Aniscock Those are his lap times in white on the top. Underneath all those red numbers, that means that Anisgok, out of the last 5 laps, has still been the fastest truck of the top 3. And it's been kind of interesting now that Tristan Bailey is able to get on by Andrew Chapman. That kind of changed up a little bit, but the red didn't change whatsoever. Let's take a look at maybe one of our biggest movers, go on back to about P15 right now. Giovanni Klein in this number 84 Toyota TRD machine. Giovanni up 9 spots after starting 24th. So looking pretty good so far. Have to see how he continues to fare throughout the night. Right now looking very, very strong. He's got Jose Ruiz right ahead and Jordan Anderson right behind. Tom Harmon, another one, he starting to pick up a little bit of momentum. If there's ever one guy that you can count on to be able to save some tire, that is pretty much a requirement here at Texas Motor Speedway, you'd have to look at the 68. You'd have to look at the 13 of Justin Anisgok. You'd have to look at Brian Fisichemi as well as a few others. They know how to save tires and fuel when it's needed with the best of them. The man's bad fast, and he can pilot just about anything that he gets into and races at any given time. Anisgok now with a 1.3 lead over Tristan Bailey. Tristan up 4 spots to P2. Andrew Chapman up 1. Tom Harmon up 1. Scott Rickard in the 05. He's down 2 spots in his Team Watson Racing setup. Number 05 Silverado. Austin Collins right behind him in that number 74. A couple team trucks. And then again, the 24 of Cole Snyder sitting P7. Mike Miller in that 05 starting to make just a little bit of noise. He's up 2 spots. He's up on that high side trying to gather some momentum as the 30 of Josh Taylor tags the outside wall with that number 30 machine. That little bit of a Mark Martin throwback. Again, right behind him is going to be Kenny Lynn, and then that rounds out the top 10. Definitely appreciate everybody that's out there, whether you're out there in the land of YouTube or Twitch. Again, this is the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. I'll go ahead and I'll put the link to that service out there for you right quick. If you are a veteran or if you know a veteran, make sure that they get this link, whether they need help with any kind of any programs that are available to veterans, or maybe you're not 100% sure what programs are available to you as a newly separated veteran, or maybe you've been separated for a while and you no longer know what's available to you. Go on over, follow that link, and I promise you, Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross of our U.S. Army, now retired, will get back to you, as it looks like somebody's taking a little bit of a ride through the grass. I think, yep, that was the 74 of Austin Collins, but able to save it. Get back out on track. Tires might be a little upset with him, but we are staying green. Justin Anisgok now with a 2-second lead, 2 flat seconds over Tristan Bailey. So what do you say we do a little bit of a crank it up session and go through the field, take a look at some of the cameras, some of the sights and sounds, and pick up with what may be your favorite driver. What do you say? Let's go. right, let's go ahead and bring it on back in. Keeping up right now with 23 of the one and only Jose Ruiz. Jose right now up one spot, sitting P11. Jimmy Cocker right behind. John Osborne up ahead. Didn't miss much as far as the lead. Justin Aniscock now with a 3.1 second lead over the 4 of Tristan Bailey. Again, Tristan Bailey took a little bit of a hiatus from the turn down for what iRacing Truck Series ranks, but came on back this evening. And boy, behind the 13, it's definitely a bit of a gap. I mean, it's a while even before anybody else comes into frame. Behind Tristan, though, he's got a little bit of company from the 68 of Tom Harmon. Tom Harmon running just about a group higher than Tristan, trying to keep a little bit of clean air on the nose of that number 68 Silverado. Down the backstretch, using every bit of draft that he can. And as you can see, again, up high, using a little bit more of the banking, using a little bit more of that clean air, and trying to get a little bit more of a run with some momentum. Behind Tom Harmon, you got Andrew Chapman in that progressive number 25. That's a Denny Hamlin scheme that one time this year, I believe, is put into Victory Lane. And today, yeah, not so much. Today, that machine caught fire. And well, he was done, I want to say it was in the second or third stage, somewhere right around there. But Cole Snyder right now trying to look to the inside of the 25. Cole's got Mike Miller in the 05, or in the 5 rather, just behind them as they come off of turn 4 through the trial. Well, everybody right there knows the tail. Josh Taylor right now leading this little pack, just a little bit behind as they go into 1. The 05 throwing it way up high, up and over the bumps that are in that corner. Not even going to mess around with them, but it might cost him just a little bit in time because he would have had to check up coming off of the corner. Couldn't quite get back in the throttle maybe as much as he'd like. So he wasn't able to really gain much time on the 30. Stays right behind him. And then Kenny Lind and John Osborne right now, they are side by side just behind. And then again, there is the aforementioned number 23 of Jose Ruiz. Jose right now still sitting P11. Jimmy Cocker right behind. Behind Jimmy Cocker, you see the 33 of Stan Carnathan. Stan has Evan Knopp right behind him. We saw Evan getting a little loose before, looking pretty good now. But one guy that we saw with bigger issues, the 40 of Elric George, and I don't see him. I'm going to guess that machine was just a little too much for him to handle, so he called it a night. Yep, Frozen, there we go. That's twice you saved me this evening. I definitely appreciate you. All right. I tell you what, it seems like there's nothing that this guy cannot race. Whether it's a truck, a cup, a Gen 6, an Xfinity car, an ARCA car, no matter what it is, this guy can absolutely pilot it. That'd actually be a nice series I'd love to see run. There's a lot of hype around the new ARCA cars. I'd love to see a season full of those. To see how they handle at each and every track. I think it would absolutely be a blast. And from what I hear, Mike Pop Bear Campbell may be thinking about doing a super speedway series in the ARCA cars, but kind of maybe expanding it beyond just Daytona, Talladega, iRacing Super Speedway, and Atlanta. Actually, getting out to the bigger tracks as well. Maybe the Auto Club, the Michigans. I don't know about Pocono, but the bigger oval tracks as well, just to have a whole lot of fun. That series right now is a blast, and we'll see what the turn down for what Super Speedway series turns out to be in the Wednesday weeks coming up. There we go. All right. Tom Harmon still trailing the Kodak number 4 of Tristan Bailey, so no change right there. I don't know if he's just kind of riding right now and not really wanting to press his luck. Again, at Texas Motor Speedway, you do need to save a lot of tire right now, working on a 43-lap green flag run. And again, with Elric George retired, that leaves 26 truckers out here on track to continue to battle. Speaking of battling, here we go. 68 just dives to the inside of the 4 as both of them get a little slide happy off the corner. I'm sorry, off of 2 that was. But yeah, a little slide happy off of 2 down the backstretch, now into 3 and 4, still side by side. Tristan tried to carry as much speed as he can, but the 68, I think he's going to have it just by virtue of the 4 not really being able to get back in the throttle when he wanted. 68 has the spot going into 1 and 2. And just as I say that, talking about green flag pit stops, here we go. The 25, Andrew Chapman, as well as the 20 of the one and only Jimmy Cocker in his Toyota Virginia Tech TRD machine. Going to grab 4 brand new Eagle Fuel Goods. Go ahead and top it off with that virtual Sunoco E15 fuel and come on back out. So far, these are the only recent guys back on lap 34. Chris Weaver was in right along with Mike Pop Bear Campbell and Chris Murphy. So none of the lead cars have gone down pit road as of yet. But that looks like that battle kind of turned out just as we thought. Tom Harmon on by Tristan Bailey. Behind those guys, you see the 24 of Cole Snyder. No immediate challenge there. How about Josh Taylor, though, now up 9 spots. The only other 2 drivers that have gained more spots than him, Giovanni Klein in the 84, and then the 78 of Brian Pizzicami. The 30 was feeling really, really good in practice. And it looks like Mike Miller has also decided to bring his number 5 machine down pit road for his first set of Eagle Feel Good. So, yeah, green flag pit stops definitely underway. We'll have to see how each and every one of these are able to do the Texas 2-step on and off pit road. That dance to get to your pit stall and carry as much speed as you can down pit lane and then again off of or out of your pit stall is very, very important. It's about as important as it gets running clean laps on track while still trying to save a little bit of fuel and save your tires. It's, I mean, you want to be really, really aggressive getting to the commitment cone. You want to back it down to to pit road speed, which is 45. Carry that speed all the way to your pit stall. Don't short the box, but also you can't blow through the box. That way you got to either pull up or back up, and then you get your stop done. You want to have the nose of your truck right on your signboard, and then come on back out without spinning too much of the tires. Let's actually jump on board with Josh Taylor right now and see exactly how this stop goes for him. There you go. You see the right side going up. I didn't see the signboard come down for him. I know that has been an issue here in iRacing. In fact, I don't see very many of the signboards coming down as the trucks pull in. So good job by him to kind of guesstimate as to where that was and then get his service completed and come on back out. Looks like he's going to come out with about the same gap behind the 68 and the 4. So let's get back up, get going. That is going to complete the pit for most of our lead lap trucks. John Osborne, Cole Snyder, Kenny Lynn, Jose Ruiz, Mike Carter, and Justin Burden all on pit road. Justin Anscock also went on down. So here is our new leader, Evan Knopf, as he woes and slows that thing down to a cool, calm, collected 45 miles per hour. Again, pit road speed here at Texas Motor Speedway. Jordan Anderson now going to inherit the lead in his prime bomb pop number 3, but nope, he's going to go ahead and bring it in as well, and that should cycle through all of the trucks in the event tonight here from Texas. And see, there you go. There's an example of going past the board, but again, the signboards are not coming down, so just an issue that iRacing will have to fix as soon as possible. Evan Knopf getting his getting his truck back out on track. And how about Scott Rickard back here in the 05? His Team Watson Racing setup machine just went purple, putting down the fastest lap of the evening so far at a 30.36. I tell you, fast times in the next gen series, they were hitting like 29.6s, 29.7s as really, really fast burners. You're not going to see that here in the trucks. These things are definitely nowhere near as fast as you see the 7 and the 05 get underneath the 8 of Chris Weaver. Tristan Bailey now in the 4 as he pulls to the inside of the 5. He actually just went ahead and put up his own purple lap of a 30.3. So Tristan also really trying to push to gain some track position. Justin Anscock, through that round of green flag hitting, is back in the lead with a very, very hefty just about a 5-second flat gap, as you can see there on the scoring pylon, over Tom Harmon, Andrew Chapman, Tristan Bailey, and Mike Miller. How about we check in with Chris Weaver, though, here in this number 7, now up 17 spots. If there was an award or a point or something like that for most positions gained so far at lap 54, he would be the man. 17 spots up to P8. So Chris absolutely made the best of his time on and off pit road, but also very, very fast out here on track. I believe the only other one that's in the double digits, or only other 2 that are in the double digits right now, Brian Pizzichemi back here in the number 78 as he gets by the 33 of Stan Carnathan and now draws a bead on the 23 of Jose Ruiz. He's up 11 spots, and up here in P6, you got the 20 of Jimmy Cocker. Jimmy now up 10 spots after starting 16th to P6. Go ahead and show you some lap times, or who's fastest, either ahead or behind Jimmy Cocker. This would show Mike Miller and Scott Rickard. So right now, Jimmy Cocker, he's going to have to worry a little bit. As you can see on lap 53, 54, and 55, Scott Rickard was just about a full 10th faster than Jimmy Cocker. Then he was a 10th plus, and then looks like 1.6 and then 2.2 tenths faster. So yeah, Jimmy Cocker definitely he sees Scott Rickard coming, and it's not going to be long until Scott is there. Go ahead and take a look from Scott's roof cam as he draws a bead on that Toyota TRD machine for Jimmy Cocker. I tell you what, I mentioned it before and I mentioned it again. Go on over to YouTube and Google Virginia Tech theme song for their football team, Exit Light, Enter Night. The whole stadium erupts when that song by Metallica starts to play. That energy is just flat amazing. I absolutely love it. All right, from Josh Taylor in his hood. Right now, Josh Taylor's sitting P8 up 6 spots. Chris Murphy behind him, Jimmy Cocker just ahead. And Josh still has some time to make up. Again, felt very positive in practice this evening, thinking that he might be able to go ahead and get it done. Let's actually show you what the practice times looked like a little bit earlier this evening before we all went green. Go ahead and pull that up for you right now. And let's bring you to the top of the board. So Justin Anscock, Brian Pizzichemi, and Josh Taylor, they were fastest. Until it was about the top 7. So Tom Harmon, John Osborne, Tristan Bailey, and then Austin Collins, all within a tenth of each other in practice. And then you get to the 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, and 4/10 back, going through the top 18, and then the rest of the field before a few more joined during qualifying. But this was your top 25. So again, very, very fast top guys, top 7 during practice, and usually that translates over to a very, very fast truck here once the race gets going. All right, let's go ahead and bring that on back. And let's go ahead and check in with our leader again. Here is Justin Anscock. Now, with a 3.5 tenth gap over Tom Harmon. So Tom's starting to reel in this rowdy number 13. I don't think it's going to be very long before Tom gets up there. Again, he can be very, very fast, and he could also, he knows how to conserve the tires also. working lap 62, straight green flag laps here at Texas Motor Speedway with the turn down for what iRacing Truck Series. If you just joined, welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight from Texas, 167 laps, working lap 62. So just 105 laps remaining. See if Rose and I can do math on the fly. I promise you. But what a great race it's been so far. One green flag round of pit stops in the books. Everybody pretty much down pit road on lap 44 through 48, depending on when they felt they needed to go. And there you go. All right. Scott Rickard right now sitting P4. He's got a little bit of a gap that he needs to make up, but as we look from the backside also, he's got a little bit of a gap back to Mike Miller and Andrew Chapman also. Behind those guys, you see Josh Taylor looking from his rear camera for his Valvoline machine. Right behind him, that's going to be the 24, Cole Snyder out of Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Cole very, very fast on most tracks, but very, very quick on the super speedways. Kenny Lynn in the 57 looking from the bumper cam for him. Behind him, you're going to find Austin Collins, Chris Murphy, and Jose Ruiz. As you see, most of the cars just lined up single file with a little bit of a gap between, down the backstretch, along the wall, through turns 3 and 4, exiting the corner, coming through the tri-oval, now working lap 65. So getting closer and closer, and very soon we're going to be talking about halfway. Right now, with this number 13 of Justin, as we look back at Tom Harmon, it's pretty much been lights out for driver 13. Just a very, very fast, safe handling truck here at Texas. Not really pushing it, and you see that time that he has over Harmon starting to even out. So that tells me that the tires are pretty even as well. Neither one of them really pushing. Maybe bringing it down to fate when they have to come on down pit road next time. So if they all came down between lap 44 and 48, again, you're going to be looking at about lap 88 to maybe lap 96, give or take, whenever they feel they need to come on down for their next set of Eagle Feel Goods. Going to kind of scan through the field for just a little bit, see if we can't find some kind of a phenomenal battle going on at this moment. Right now, the 68 of Tom Harmon and Tristan Bailey, that is a battle for position. You see the two just ahead of them. The two is Claire Murphy. He's actually sitting P24, so he's not in this mix. But you can bet that the dirty air from that number 2 is absolutely going to mess with the front end of the 68 of Tom Harmon. Tom Harmon, very, very good at choosing a different lane. We saw that earlier when he was trailing Tristan Bailey, now in front of him. So now he's got to try to find a different line. See, he's a little bit lower than the 2, so getting some clean air on the nose of that machine. And I believe in 3 and 4, he was just a little bit higher. So doing what he can to keep some clean air on the nose of that Silverado and continue his progression forward. Not only does that keep him quick, but that also keeps him from having to put a little bit of extra wheel into that truck, which in turn will help him save tires. It all comes back around. All right, Tristan Bailey, again, we talked about him for just a moment. Scott Rickard back here in his Team Watson Racing Setups 05. Scott, he's got a good, 7 seconds up to P1, and he's a good 1.3 seconds over the 5 of Mike Miller. You see the 5 of Mike Miller there with the 25 of Andrew Chapman just behind him, but no real battle there. Josh Taylor back here in this number 30 Valvoline machine with Cole Snyder just behind. Again, no battle there. Both of them just kind of racing the track at the moment until they've got to get up and get going and get gone. Mike Ramstead out there says, good race. Mike, you're not wrong. All green flags so far coming to lap 72 next time. Justin Anscock has led most laps so far. There is Kenny Lind back here in that number 57 Toyota. He started P9, right now continues to run P9. The same thing with Cole Snyder in P8, started 8th, and that's where he continues to run. The only other few drivers that are in that same scenario, Jose Ruiz back here in the 23, he's got the 63 behind him, and the 20 of Jimmy Cocker just ahead. Jose Ruiz qualified at P12, that's where he continues to run. The only other driver on the track right now, since I was last talking, or started talking I should say, about Jose, is this guy here, starting to catch the tail end of the field. Justin started on pole, and that's where he continues to run. Mike, I did get your message, and yes, I believe I can add a QR code. You will just have to send it to me, and I'll just have to try to figure out how to turn it into a PNG if that's what it takes, so it doesn't show up too badly cropped on stream. But yeah, buddy, I would be very, very proud to put your Alpha 1 lung disease racing for a cure QR code on screen. That way anybody can take a picture of it with their phone, find out all about it, and hopefully by God's good grace, they'll have maybe a little extra to share and can help donate. For anybody that doesn't know, Alpha 1 is a very, very rare lung disease, and every year Mike Allen or Ramsett puts on the Alpha 1 charity race. Usually it's going to be from a super speedway. This year I believe was from Talladega. Had a ton of fun, and I believe it raised several $1,000s, not only from the iRacing community, but also from private organizations as well. They do bike-a-thons and again races here on iRacing, trying to drum up some support and some cash. And unfortunately, it's not one of those things that gets a whole lot of publicity out there in the land of news and everywhere else. It's pretty much just those that have it that do what they can to help find funds to hopefully one day find a cure. All right, so back up front, Tom Harmon able to, he's actually starting to lose a little bit of time to Justin. Last time we saw these guys, it was about 3.5 seconds, now just about 4.5 seconds back. And it seems like Justin, he's up there, and I mentioned that he's starting to catch the tail end of the field, but it just seems like he's able to really guide his way through traffic just a little bit better, as I just watched that Krispy Kreme truck smack that outside wall off the exit of the corner, and the 13 continues to motor on. You're very, very welcome, Mike. My pleasure, sir. Again, if you just joined in the land of YouTube or Twitch, definitely appreciate you for coming out, hanging out, chatting up, keeping me and everybody else company. This is the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. I'll go ahead and put their link out there yet again. Again, if you've got a brother, sister, mother, father, aunt, uncle, maybe a grandfather or grandmother that's still serving, if you're, well, I don't think you'd be that young anymore. But anyway, please, if you're in the great state of Indiana or any of the surrounding states, or just in general, if you need to know more and more about the programs that are out there for you as a U.S. veteran, whether it's for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, whatever. Yes, there are actually now new veterans of the Space Force that are separating. So if you are in or around the great state of Indiana or just anywhere else in the country, you want to know more about veteran benefits or veteran programs, reach out to Lieutenant Colonel retired Cecil Ross of our U.S. Army and ask him what you need to ask him. I promise you, if he doesn't know the answer, he's going to find it for you, or he's going to point you in the direction, maybe give you a website, maybe give you the name and a phone number or an email address or some other way to get a hold of a program that you need. As it looks like caution number 1's going to fly on lap 81. So green flag up until lap 81. Looks like Justin Bird's going to have something to say about this wreck. So let's go on back, see if we can find out exactly what happened here. Let's go ahead and switch this up over to our chase cam. He's in this number 51 Carhartt machine. Let's play this out. I believe we just saw the 13 of Justin. Oh, 8 squeezing by. Definitely saw the 51 getting wildly loose at the entrance of the corner. The 8 already committed, could not adjust his line. 51 got to go ahead and pull it down pit road. And I believe, I'm going to guess that's where he maybe locked it up and caution flew. Well, he just pulled it over and decided to call it a night. All right. So that is caution. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. As everybody comes on down pit road, you see the 68 right up the trumpet of the 13 of Justin Aniscock. Tristan Bailey back here. There's the 05 pulling into his stall. The 25, there's the 74. So everybody pretty much came on down pit road, grabbed their second round of Eagle Feel Goods, and then get back out there on track. I want to say we're getting really, really close on pit stops anyway. Again, most everybody was in between lap 44 and 48 again. So if you think about it, lap 88 or lap 90 or up to lap 96 was on its way either way. So there we go. All right, let's see if we can't pull the one and only Justin Aniscock into the booth. See what he's thinking about this race and what he thinks about his truck overall. Rowdy, it's repeat up in the booth, bud. You got a quick copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, you definitely seem like you've got an absolute rocket ship tonight.
Oh my goodness.
What's that?
They just wrecked behind me.
That's not good. But you definitely seem like you've got just a rocket ship. Definitely seems like it's on rails this evening. Please talk us through your race and any kind of strategy you may be employing to not only keep this lead that you've just been able to compound each and every lap, but how you plan to keep everybody behind you and grab the checkers when it's all said and done.
Just let them run their tires off. That's what I did the first run. Just run the bottom and just have enough throttle in it so they can't pass me. And that's what I've been pretty much doing the whole run. Just not full throttle in 3 and 4, and it seemed to be helping. But yeah, I was enjoying it until that last caution, and now we got to restart.
They're going to restart. The caution came out on lap 81. Full green flag racing up until there. You anticipate some shuffling, or you're going to be able to keep the 5 of Mike Miller, Scott Rickard, and Josh Taylor behind you?
I'm going to try to keep them behind me, but it's going to be tough. They're going to be going hard here.
All right, buddy. I see you're getting back double file, so I'll get you back on down to your team chat. Good luck as always, sir. Keep the shiny side up and go get them.
Yep.
All right, one more time. Pilot of this number 13 Rowdy Machine, the one and only Justin Aniscock, has led most laps so far this evening. It's going to be a phenomenal restart. I think we're about ready to go back green as you see the pace truck now going through turns 1 and 2. Next time by the start stripe, Barney will have the green flag waving, and we'll be back underway to start lap 84. All right, here we go. Green flag's up. Let's go. All right, so it looks like Rowdy was able, or Justin Aniscock was able to keep Scott Rickard behind. Josh Taylor restarted 4th right now, up to P3. So that number 30 Valvoline machine, that Mark Martin kind of throwback, really starting to move. Again, very, very fast in practice. Didn't qualify the best, but now up 11 spots to P3. He's got the 5 of Mike Miller to his outside, going through turns 1 and 2. The 5 up high, able to avoid the bump up there. As they come off side by side, drag race to the line. Looks like the 5 would have the spot there. Behind them, you see Austin Collins in the 74, the 25 of Andrew Chapman down low. Cole Snyder there, also on the bottom. You see he just went purple with a time of 30.15. So now he holds the fastest lap of the evening. Kenny Lynn behind him in his May the 4th be with you, number 57. Yeah, National Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you all. It didn't dawn on me before, the little creature that he's got as his profile picture. That was a little creature that kept Jabba the Hutt company in Jabba's lair. It did not hit me before. Ding dong. Okay. Why not? Ryan Fisichemi continues to try to motor on up and pick up spots. Now up 17. So now he's actually got the most positions gained. Chris Murphy back here in this number 7. He's up 13. Giovanni Klein just behind him in the 84. He's up 11. Right now, those are the only guys that are up double digits, but it seems like that changes lap after lap depending on who can get on up there and really challenge for these spots. But it's best when they're like this because the battle is just so fierce. Talking about a fierce battle, 78 with the 57 who's outside, the 63 to the outside of the 20 of Jimmy Cocker, the 7 right behind them as they go down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, continue to ride out side by side. Coming off of turn 4, really got to watch that outside wall. Seen a whole lot of contact in officials and other races over the course of this last week. Been a lot of fun, but I know of a lot of people that have lost a ton of iRating at this track, and they just continue to push. Great Hornet's Nest, full of racing back here. Going to take it 3 wide, possibly. Giovanni Klein down low in that Sunny D 84 machine. 20 of Jim Cocker came on down low, slammed that door shut, not able to get there in time. But now the 7 and the 20 still side by side, right behind the 78 of Fisichemi. Evan Knopp looking back on all these guys. And I tell you, that Silverado nose just gets closer and closer and closer. Looking ahead. Looking back now at the battle between the 05 of Justin Anscock and Mike Miller. Scott Rickard also in this mix. The 5 not actually part of this battle. The 5 right now, I want to say... No, yeah, the 5 is actually part of the battle. In fact, up there on that high side, if he's able to keep the momentum and keep the position, he actually was leading going into turns 1 and 2. I'm sorry, 3 and 4. I hate the track map on for this track as part of this overlay because the track is upside down. So I apologize if before I called it 1 and 2 when they were in 3 and 4 or vice versa. But yeah, on this track, the start stripe is pointing up versus down. There you go. Justin Anscock still holding off everybody that's been able to get to his back bumper. That 05 with Scott Rickard, he started 3rd. Right now, that's exactly where he runs the 74 of Austin Collins. You really see him throw it hard into the bottom line. And that's one thing about a single group racetrack. If you allow anybody to get underneath you and it forces you up at a track like this, they're just going to freight train on by. You might as well call it Martinsville at high speeds. because that's exactly what it is. Everybody on that bottom side is going to be able to get on by, and there's not much that you're going to be able to do about it. Jimmy Cocker back here in his number 20 get a little loose off the corner. Either that or just had a better run than the 57 that he was able to pull low and try to complete this pass. 57 still out there all over the right rear of the 20. Coming through the trial wheel, 20 is going to go ahead and throw it low. He will be able to complete that pass. Now set his sights on the 84 of Giovanni Klein as the 20 moves up track. Here comes that 57, going to try a little bit of a delayed crossover. 57 now underneath the 20, so the 20 is going to be forced to go up high. The 68 of Tom Harmon, he was running P2, P3 earlier. Right now finds himself P10, down 5 spots after starting 5th. So Tom Harmon's going to have to try to work his way back up through the field if he wants to contend for a win yet again here in the Turnout for What iRacing Truck Series. Working lap 98, so 69 more laps to go from Texas Motor Speedway, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. All right, so we got a lot of hard battling here. What do you say we do another little crank it up session? If you got a nice sound bar, good TV, nice set of Bluetooth speakers, whatever you got, let's go ahead and crank it up. Let's go. let's go ahead and bring it back in. Again, big thank you to everybody that's out there in the land of Twitch and YouTube. Definitely appreciate you, as always, for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping me and everybody else company. 60 more laps here from Texas Motor Speedway in the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans. Justin Ascot continues to lead the way now by pretty much flat 2 seconds over Austin Collins in the 74. Austin started P2, runs P2. Scott Rickard started P3, runs P3. Andrew Chapman started P4, runs P4. Tom Hartman started P5, runs P5. So right now the top 5 exactly where they qualified. Over the course of the race, they've fallen back some, now right back up to where they started. Caution number 2 is out, as you see all the lights around Texas Motor Speedway light up yellow, letting all the drivers know without any kind of a mistake that the caution flag is out. So everybody woes it down to catch up to the pace car, or let the pace car catch up to them. So far, I have not received a replay, so I'm not 100% sure what this caution is for. Maybe can go to the back here, try to find somebody running a little bit further back here. Is Evan Knopp in the 63. Chris Weaver back here in his Fox 8 Plus sports machine. Again, not getting a replay, so not 100% sure what's going on. Maybe we could pull up old race control, see if we can find out exactly what brought up caution number 2. Mr. Campbell, it's repeat up in the booth, bud. You got a quick copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm not getting a replay for caution number 2 on the evening. Any idea what happened here?
Lap 109, we had the 24 slowing down to go in the pit, and he lost control, and it brought the yellow flag out.
All right, sir. I appreciate you. One more time, race controller Mike Campbell. Definitely thank him for all of his service to the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series community and everything that he does in the Super Speedway Series as well, as we get him on back on down to, or back on over to race control. Again, one and only Mike Campbell. No, it's not Mike Papa Bear Campbell. That's actually his son, Mike Campbell. So everybody back on down pit road, as it looks like Justin Ascot going to go ahead and lead the entire way. So everybody again going to grab their third set of tires. Everybody in at about lap 44, again at lap 82, and now here on lap 111. So 3 sets of tires down. I believe they had 7 sets on the evening. 74 really challenging the 13 off of pit road, but it's going to be Justin Ascot to lead the field yet again. So what do you say we try to catch up with the 74 of Austin Collins? See if we can't get a word with him right quick. Austin should be down here in ORL. Yes, he is. And let's bring him on up to the booth. Austin is repeat up in the booth, but you got a quick copy.
How's it going, Pete?
Well, bud, I tell you what, for a second there, the top 5 where y'all qualified is exactly where you were running. The cream always rises to the top. Do you have anything from the 13, and can you take these checkers for yourself?
It's going to be a struggle. This setup, it's starting to come to my liking more, but it's definitely was on the loose side there at the beginning. I got the wall out of 4 and went through it's some landscape at the infield, which luckily it's not like real life. So
Right.
So I survived that one. So I'm just happy to be right here where I'm at. We're going to try to do what we can. Like I said, the setup's starting to snug up a bit more as we go into night here. So I'll try to give Justin a run for his money. He's been half-assed all night.
Yeah, I actually just told that story last night. I believe it was Carl Edwards that got the win here. And as he came off of 4, just gassed it for a slide through the grass and completely destroyed his car by one of those manholes that was sticking up out of the infield. So, yeah, this track is not very good as far as that grass. NASCAR wants you to stay off it. It's for a very good reason. All right, buddy, I'll get you back on down with the rest of your team. Good luck. Go get them, and maybe we'll be talking again just a little bit later on.
Thank you, Pete.
You got it. All right, again, one more time. Pilot of this Team Watson Racing number 74, Austin Collins. All right, ladies and gents, going to get back to it. Enniscock, Collins, Rickard, Harmon, and Miller are the top 5. And what a restart this is going to be. Working 112 of 167. So 55 laps to go here from Texas Motor Speedway. It's going to be a great finish. Glad you're here, whether you're out there in the land of Twitch or YouTube. If you haven't already, please go on up, smash that follow, hit the subscribe. Make sure you keep notifications on. That way you know every time this channel goes live. There we go. Barney's got the green flag up. Pace truck making that hard left towards Albuquerque. Let's roll.
Green, green.
All right, so the 3 of Justin Anscock is going to be able to hold on to the lead. You just saw there a big old push from the 05 to the 74 as caution is going to fly yet again. I tell you, they called it just a moment ago. So far, though, not getting a replay, so we're going to go ahead and bring it back live. I can tell you that possibly Andrew Chapman, Claire Murphy, Giovanni Klein, or a couple of others going to have something to do with this. As it looks like they might have gone off track. Let's see if we can't go back and see if we can find out. All right, right back in the thick of it. Let's go ahead and rewind just a tad. All right, let's stop there. Let's pick up with the 20 and kind of look ahead from his nose cam and play at a quarter speed. Think there might have been just a little bit of contact there. Looks like the 84 may be getting a little sideways, and it wasn't enough. The 20 didn't have quite enough time to check up. Actually, the 20 had nothing to do with this, and it looks like just barely gets by. And that was about all she wrote. All right, so Giovanni Klein back here going to go for a little slide in the grass, going around and around. Doesn't look like he really made contact with anybody as of yet. Maybe the outside wall as the 71 of Mike Pop Bear Campbell comes on by. You see Josh Taylor in the 25 go low. All right, let's go ahead and back this up, and we'll play it again in real time. All right, and let's play it. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so third caution of the evening. Right now, Anascott leading. Collins, Rickard, Harmon, and Lind are their top 5. Brian Piscemi, Tristan Bailey, Jimmy Cocker, Mike Miller, Brad Rivers are the top 10. Andrew Chapman right now sitting 11th. Jordan Anderson, Josh Taylor, Claire Murphy, and Cole Snyder, top 15. 16th looks like Chris Murphy, John Osborne, Jose Ruiz, Chris Weaver, and Giovanni Klein, top 20. Stan Carnathan right now sitting 21st. Mike Pop Bear Campbell, 22nd. Evan Knopp, 23rd. Justin Burden, 24th. Davey Weaver, 25th. Mike Carter, 26th. And Elric George retiring early, right now sitting in the 27th position. All right, getting back, double file, all racked and stacked, back up. Going to go back green on lap 117. Getting closer and closer to calling this race official. The first 81 laps, all green flag. Since then, 2 additional cautions have flown. Been a phenomenal race so far. Gonna find out at the end who's gonna be standing in victory lane, firing off the 6 shooters, picking up their cowboy hat and those cowboy boots, and gonna grab the checkers in the Lone Star State. right, pace truck is off. We're going to go back green flag. Barney's got the green flag in the air. Let's go. And Scott right now with a miracle of the 05 and Scott Rickard. Scott's going to try that outside. Maybe he's got a little bit better of a launch off of turn number 4, but not going to have enough momentum to even pull up to the left, the right rear of that number 13. Try to slow him down just a little bit. Will he try to pull the inside, maybe pack a little bit of air on that left rear? Nope. 13's going to go ahead and take that line away as well. So Scott Rickard right now going to have no choice but to stay in P2, maybe just kind of settle in as we watch the 74 really try to wrap that outside. Made a little bit of contact with the wall on quarter exit. Now he's got the 68 of Tom Harmon and the 57 of Kenny Lynn. I tell you what, I mentioned earlier, I didn't think we were going to see sub 30-second laps. Well, Tristan Bailey just put up his own purple lap yet again, going 29.98. The one and only driver so far to get down into the 29s and really trying to dig. If he did all that with the 78.2 is outside, that's a bad fast lap. Battle for the lead right now kind of simmering down just a little bit. Austin Collins and Scott Rickard nose to tail. Back here you see the 68 Avril Lavigne machine for Tom Harmon sitting P4 up 1 after starting 5th. Kenny Lynn right now is wishing everybody well, saying hope that the 4th will be with you. Yes, it is May the 4th, National Star Wars Day. And really right now up 4 spots after starting 9th with Brian Pizzicami. Brian Pizzicami now up 20 spots to P number 6. Started shotgun on the field as it seems he does every single league that he's in, or every single league that I see him in anyway. But yeah, Brian now up 20 spots and climbing. Jimmy Cocker right behind him in his Virginia Tech machine. Exiting the tri-oval, sitting P8. Brad Rivers in his U.S. Army tribute machine to his father, sitting 9th, and Mike Miller on the outside in that number 5. Andrew Chapman right now sitting P11 in his Dirty Mo Media racing number 25. Jordan Anderson back here in his Bomb Pop Prime number 3. Chris Weaver in his Fox 8 Plus machine. Again, guys, girls, if you weren't here earlier, Racing Report with Chris Weaver. This is a brand new channel by Roku, Amazon TV, I want to say, or maybe it's maybe not Amazon, but there's a few different ways. Actually, I can pull up the info where you can see this right now. It's actually going to be. Trying to get to it. I've got all the details. I just haven't looked at them lately. Okay, there it is. It's going to be it's the app on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. So Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. You can download the Fox 8 Plus channel, and there will be a 30-minute segment on Fox. How about that? A nationally broadcast channel available through those apps. Again, Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, where you'll be able to actually watch a condensed 30-minute version of this race, courtesy of Chris Weaver and My Fox 8 Plus. My Fox 8 is a channel out of the Carolinas, and Chris Weaver does a lot of work with covering everything that happens within NASCAR and other sports. but his love is definitely around racing. When North Wilkesboro was being revamped, when Rockingham was being revamped, when the state of North Carolina was dumping a whole bunch of money into tracks that weren't really used much anymore, trying to drum up that support all over again. Chris Weaver was there with the track owners, track presidents, some of the drivers. When Dale Jr. rallied a whole bunch of people together to clean up North Wilkesboro, that was all covered. I mean, he does so much for the racing community and absolutely deserves all the support that he can get for his endeavors with the MyFox 8 Plus channel. Again, available through Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. And I know that he's got permission from me and the rest of the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series presented by NAV. I believe that a conversation may have been had with the one and only Eliza Bethel, or better known as Frozen Toes 24, for the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series that races on Monday nights. And I believe there's one more as well that races on Thursdays, but I'm not quite sure if that is a done deal or not, so I'm not going to really say much about that. But again, big thank you to Chris Weaver and everything that he does with the MyFox 8 Plus channel on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Make sure you go on over, add the channel, and check it out later. I promise you won't be disappointed. All right, back up front, we got a pass for the lead. Scott Rickard and Austin Collins able to get on by Justin Anisgok. Not 100% sure right now how that happened. I'll see if I can catch it and bring it back to you. I can tell you, here's how Scott got on by Justin. We'll go ahead and play that. Let's go ahead and back this up just a tad, because you can see the 13 really out of the groove. Let's stop that there, and let's go ahead and play it. Not quite sure if the 13 got a little bit of help up and out of the groove, but the 05 definitely seemed like he threw it in there just a little bit stronger. That pushed the 13 up into that second groove, really able to kind of keep it low up towards the wall. The 05 really keeping the 13 pinched high. Now the 74 gives the 05 a little bit of a shot getting into the corner. Again, 74 being Austin Collins. And then Austin Collins going to go ahead and try to complete that pass as well, which he does. Let's go ahead and show you that. There he is again, 13 in that second groove. Really testing out that old adage that 8 tires are better than 4 all the way through the tri-oval. Really door to door. Nothing that Justin could do. He's got to try to keep that thing pinned down. He does not want to hit that bump going through the middle of turns 1 and 2. With all this going on, the 68 of Tom Harmon really able to rally back and pick himself into P number 4. Tristan Bailey right now sitting P4 and P5, and Brian Pizzakemi P number 6. So that's how that all happened. Now we're up to date. Let's go ahead and bring it back live. All right, so now again, the 05 of Scott Rickard leading away with a good half second over Austin Collins in P2. Tom Harmon now sitting P3 in his Avril Lavigne machine. Looks like that 13 of Justin Anisgok getting wildly loose. Not quite sure if he's got some damage or what's going on, but his tires are absolutely livid with him right now. Has to really try to hope that he can calm him down, bring the tire temps down, and then try to rally back and gain a few more spots after leading, no doubt in my mind, the most laps this evening. Frozen, if you're still out there, in case I didn't say it earlier, thank you very much for subbing with Prime. 5 months. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you. And I will see you not tomorrow, but next week. If you weren't here earlier, again, no race tomorrow night at Charlotte Motor Speedway with the one and only Eliza Bethel in the booth. we're going to go ahead and take a week off, and then we'll be right back at the Queen City, or the Beast of the Southeast, whatever you want to call Charlotte Motor Speedway, in just a week's time. So no race tomorrow evening over on Frozen Toes 24 on Twitch. We're going to give it a little bit of a rest, and then we'll be back the following Monday. 200 laps. The season's longest race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a great time. All right, Scott Rickard, I tell you what, he's got Tom Harmon absolutely closing the gap. If we look from Tom Harmon's roof, and that lead definitely seems to be shrinking just a tad. Right now, down to about 6/10, and the 05 had broadened that out just a little bit, but it definitely seems like Tom Harmon's starting to close in just a bit also. Austin Collins from his bumper cam looking at the 68, and if we switch on over to his rear cam, here is the 4 of Tristan Bailey running P4 up 2 spots after starting 6th on the night, working lap 138 of 167, so less than 30 laps remaining here in the Turned Out For What iRacing Truck Series, presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. I put the link out there in chat earlier. I'll go ahead and do it again right now, as it looks like we got the 74 coming on down pit road. Austin Collins looks like the last time he was on pit road was lap 110. So it looks like he's coming down now to grab a set of Eagle Feel Goods and come on out with a brand new set of tires, gain some track position, and that way when everybody else comes down, I would say, let's see, they were in on lap 110. They were going 40 to 45 laps earlier. If they come down lap 150, 155, he might have some track position, but at the same time, they're going to have new tires, and he may be falling off at that point. So he's really going to have to get the good out of these tires while he can. Otherwise, it might be a bit troublesome for him a little bit later on. Or if a new caution, or if another caution should happen to come out, it could help him then. Justin Anscock looks like something. Let me see if I can find him. He is back out here on track. He also came down pit road on lap 134, so he's got some new tires on his number 13 routing machine. Right now running 17th. He's the first truck 1 lap down, so if a caution should happen to come out, he would be the free pass truck. He'd get back on the lead lap. Otherwise, he just really needs to put these tires to work. The only thing is, coming down on lap 134, and we're going to 167, yeah, he can go the rest of the way. I just wanted to do the math real quick in my head, and yeah, looks like he'll be all right. Scott Rickard and Tom Harmon, they're not fooled. They're coming in from 1 and 2. They saw where the 74, the 13, and others had come down pit road for what could be their last stop. If this doesn't work, if Tristan Bailey now stays out and a caution should happen to fly, Anscock, he is still the first truck 1 lap down, so he would get his lap back, but it could possibly trap others 1 lap down or more, depending on if they're already a lap down. See Tristan Bailey getting on by the 63. That was not for position, obviously. The 63 of Evan Knopp right now running P at number 20. So that puts, I believe he's a number of laps. Yeah, he's down 2 laps. Brian Pizzicami on pit road right ahead of him. As you can continue to watch everybody else and where they are on the scoring pylon. There is Justin Anscock actually going on by Tristan Bailey, unlapping himself the old way. So that 13's got some speed, and he really needs to work on it and try to put as much of a gap as he can on the rest of the field. Kenny Lind in his number 57, may the 4th be with you. Looks like Toyota TRD machine. He's got the 74 underneath him. That's also the 74 that we saw on pit road just a little bit. And of course, that is when we're talking about Austin Collins. You see the 71 back there, Mike Papa Bear Campbell. Mike Campbell right now, I believe, is running a little bit further in the back since he had to repair some damage. Yeah, he's in 22nd. Claire Murphy in his number 2 machine. He looks like he is also retired for the evening. All right, more and more coming on down pit road. Right now, we still have Kenny Lind, Mike Miller, Jordan Anderson, Andrew Chapman, Stan Carnathan. Looks like Chris Weaver, Chris Murphy, Cole Snyder, Josh Taylor, and Jose Ruiz. None of those guys have come down pit road as of yet. Justin Aniscock down on lap 134. And you saw him just scream on by the leader, Tristan Bailey. John Osborne, he was also last in on lap 115. 138 saw John Osborne. 140 saw Scott Rickard as well as Tom Harmon. And then Jimmy Cocker was in on lap 141 as the 57 comes down pit road. So that's going to hand the lead over to the 5 of Mike Miller as you see the 20 of Jimmy Cocker go on by. Jimmy Cocker, again, another one that just put himself on the lead lap. You see there on the scoring pylon, 31 seconds behind the leader right now, Mike Miller. Jordan Anderson way back here in that number 3 Prime Bomb Pop. Looks like Chevy Silverado. Andrew Chapman just behind as Mike Miller's going to go ahead and slow and whoa his number 5 machine down to a measly slow 45 miles per hour here at Texas Motor Speedway. So now Jordan Anderson, he's going to go ahead and inherit the lead and also gain a point for leading a lap. I would imagine we'll see him on pit road very soon, just like the 5 of Mike Miller. And I imagine it's not going to be long before Andrew Chapman, Stan Carnathan, Chris Weaver, and Chris Murphy come on down as well. Josh Taylor right now running 9th in his number 30 Chevrolet. P2 all the way back here, talking about the 25 of Andrew Chapman. Stan Carnathan a little bit further back behind him as he enters turns 1 and 2. Take a quick look at this machine. Nugget Trap looks like Ford F-150. Actually owns his own pizza service as well. I think it's like a brick-fired pizza service. It's actually a food truck, if I'm not mistaken. So got the entrepreneurial spirit as well. Right now up 8 spots, running P3. Chris Weaver behind him in his Fox 8 Plus number 8. Up 14 spots to P4. Justin Anscock, after unlapping himself, right now running P5. The 05 of Scott Rickard, that is 4th position as his Team Watson Racing setup machine gains a whole lot of momentum on that outside line. So again, we got Jordan Anderson, Andrew Chapman, Stan Carnathan, Scott Rickard, and Chris Weaver back here. That has not yet come on down pit road. Neither has Chris Murphy back here in his DAV number 7. So still a few more guys really hoping that maybe a caution will fly and trap down a really strong truck. I mean, the 5 of Miller, he's 2 laps down. So are a couple of the other trucks that are right behind him. Of course, talking about Evan Knopp and Brian Pizzicemi, I believe. No, Brian Pizzicemi isn't that far back. Is he? Let's see. Yeah, Pizzicemi down 4 laps. So something must have happened with his Team Watson Racing setup number 78 after not qualifying. He finds himself 20th, only up 6 spots, where before we were talking about him being in the 20s as far as spots gained. And now we got 3 wide back here between the 78, the 81, and the 4. Tristan Bailey able to get on by the 81, and he's going to go ahead and take that spot back. Up at the front, though, still Jordan Anderson leading the way in this number 3 machine. As you see him take that second line, it'll be interesting to see if he comes on down pit road this time. Definitely been losing a lot of time to those behind him. Nope, he's going to stay out yet another lap. Again, last time he was on pit road is lap 115. Is he possibly going to see if he can go the distance? I don't think he can. From lap 115 through to 167, I don't think it's possible, but man, I have seen stranger things for sure. There is Andrew Chapman. Last time he was on pit road was lap 114. Stan Carnathan to his outside right now in that number 33. He was on pit road lap 115. Chris Weaver and Chris Murphy, 9th and 10th. They also have not yet come on down pit road. So Jordan Anderson trying to play a little strategy as the 5 up high. Going to try to carry some momentum and absolutely unlap or take at least one lap back from the 3. 3 definitely seems to be going a little slow. He's got a 2.3 second lead over Stan Carnathan. 2.6 second lead now over Andrew Chapman. A 5 second lead over Scott Rickard. 5 seconds over Tom Harmon. 5.5 over Austin Collins. 7 seconds over Justin Aniscock. 10 seconds over Jimmy Cocker. 9th is going to be Chris Weaver. 12 seconds between him and Tristan Bailey. So this 3, he's got a strategy. We'll have to see if it plays out. Really running that low side. Not really chancing it up by the wall. Wants to make sure that he keeps all the fenders on this bomb pop machine as he comes across the start stripe. This will be 11 laps remaining here from Texas Motor Speedway in the Turnout for What iRacing Truck Series presented by NAV. Can the 3 get it done? 10 laps to go next time, and then one more lap after that. We are in the single digits. The tires on this machine have got to be screaming. Fuel tank has to be extremely low. Let's actually jump into the cockpit with the driver and see if he's saving anywhere. Yes, he is absolutely shutting it down as he came across the line that time. 10 laps remaining. 1.3 seconds over Stan Carnathan. Let's go back with Stan. Keep an eye on him. See if he's trying to stretch it out the full way also. Going into 3 and 4. Still on the throttle. Stan Carnathan hoping that'll be able to get on up there, being that he's under power. Or going into 1 and 2 as we take 9 laps to go. Is he also shutting it down? Nope, he's not throwing it in neutral whatsoever. Tom Harmon back here by a couple spots now. Scott Rickard just behind the 33 of Stan Carnathan. Scott Rickard was last on pit road lap 140. Rickard now less than a second behind our leader. Jordan Anderson's got to be looking in his rear view, thinking, are they going to catch me? Do they have the fuel? Right now, I've got to say yes. Tom Harmon, who's now just 0.6 back, he can make it. He was on pit road lap 140. Scott Rickard was also in on lap 140. Stan Carnathan was in on lap 115. So this fuel strategy for the 3 and for the 33 is not going to work. The 68 and the 25. 25 goes on up to block the line. Andrew Chapman now going to go ahead and throw it underneath the 3. The 68 wisely backs off, decides not to take it 3 wide. Through turns 3 and 4, coming through the trial. Well, 3 tags that outside wall just a little bit. 25 goes on by, takes the lead away, gains a point for leading a lap. And now the 68 of Tom Harmon, it's all pretty much in his hands. Andrew Chapman has not been on pit road since lap 114. Does he run out of gas? Is he going to be able to make it? I say no. I don't know if he's been clutching it. I didn't go on board with him, but I know that the 68 Avril Lavigne Silverado for Tom Harmon, he's got the juice to make it to the rest of the race. 5 laps to go here at the line. on board with the 25 of Andrew Chapman right now. And yeah, all the way through turns 3 and 4, coming through the tri-oval, still under power. Looks like the truck is very, very loose. You saw him turning the wheel all the way to about 2 o'clock, trying to counter steer just a little bit. 4 laps to go. There it is, shutting it down in turns 1 and 2, just like we saw the 3 of Jordan Anderson doing. Was still managing to keep the 68 behind him. 68 really not pressing the issue. He knows that he's got a little bit of a gap of about a half second back to the 05 of Scott Rickard. 68 says, all right, man, I got to pull the trigger, pulling to the inside. The 68 is going to be able to throw his truck a little bit deeper into turns 1 and 2. 25, since he's been kind of saving some, he might have a little bit, but washing way up track, really trying to keep it off the wall. 25 with some momentum, able to keep the 68 at bay right now. As they come to the stripe this time, it'll be 2 laps remaining here from Texas in the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by NAV. 25 tags the wall just a bit, 2 laps remaining. Tom Harmon digging low, 25. Andrew Chapman trying to keep up with everything that he can, hoping that he has enough gas for 2 more laps. Wiggling that truck back and forth. I think he's out of gas. 25 is not going to make it, going to pull down and get out of the way, not to impede the rest of the competition on track. Valiant effort by the 25 of Andrew Chapman, just not going to work out for him this evening. White flags out. Tom Harmon across the stripe. Scott Rickard right now sitting P2. Austin Collins sitting P3. Tristan Bailey 4th. Justin Aniscock, after leading most laps this evening, is looking to be P5 down the backstretch for the last time. The 05, Scott Rickard, doesn't have anything for Tom Harmon. Harmon sets it up into 3 and 4 one more time, keeping the lefts above the white line, not to get loose. Off the corner here at Texas, Harmon is going to come across the start stripe and win in the Lone Star State. P2, Scott Rickard, Austin Collins 3rd, Tristan Bailey 4th, Justin Aniscock 5th, Jimmy Cocker 6th, 7th is going to be Kenny Lind, Brad Rivers 8th, Chris Murphy 9th, Cole Snyder 10th, John Osborne 11th, Jose Ruiz 12th, Josh Taylor 13th, Chris Weaver 14th, Andrew Chapman 15th, Jordan Anderson 16th, 17th is going to be Stan Carnathan, Mike Miller 18th, Evan Knopp 19th, Brian Pizzakemi rounds out the top 20. All right, what do you say we empty the field for driver 68? Did Aberlevine pretty proud. Tom, light him up, sir. Big congratulations again to the one and only Tom Harmon, getting it done here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Turn Out for What iRacing Truck Series. We will be right back with our top 3. We'll start off with Austin Collins, move up to Scott Rickard, and then, of course, our winner, Tom Harmon. In the meantime, let's go ahead and bring up all of your finishing details right now, and we will be right back.
Push the pedal, feel the roar. Screaming engines wanting more. Light the track and hit the curve. Chasing glory we deserve. Turn down for what we speed tonight. Blazing trails beyond the light. Fuel the fire, hearts collide. Racing dreams we can't hide. swiftest thrill, chasing shadows, bending will, burning rubber, smoke the skies. Through the laps we rise and fly. Every corner a battleground, echoes scream, engine sound. Turn for nothing, full control, brutal whispers in your soul. Turn down for what we speed tonight, blazing trails beyond the light. Fuel the fire, hearts collide, racing dreams we can't hide. Victory calls, it's in our veins. Through the chaos we remain. Turn down for nothing, lead or bust, racing bold and speed we trust.
All right, we are back with our top three in the booth. Going to fire it off with driver number 74. Started outside pole this evening, Austin Collins. Austin, we talked to you a little bit during one of the cautions, finishing P3 yet again, very, very strong here in the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series. Walk us through your race, and did you need just a few more laps to get to Harmon or past Rickard for a silver medal, or what more did you need, sir?
I was struggling from the get-go tonight. I made a change at the beginning of the race and went to 14-1, and I think that really hurt me. And from there, I was just trying to do my best. I think 12-1 was definitely the better play. I figured the track or the truck would get a little bit looser, or tighter, and it just didn't do that until later into the run there, which is whenever I got a little bit better. But that first run, I struggled real bad. Ended up tagging the wall at one point, going through the grass, and I was back in like 18th or something. So to come up through the field and get track position back and race hard, it was a lot of fun there. It was a lot of blocking, but that's part of it. That clean air, just you can tell it means so much with how aggressive you have to be to get out there and get it. So it was just a mile and a half in the truck. Clean air was dominant, and that's all I needed was a little bit more clean air.
So we've had a little bit of a week break between Rockingham and tonight at Texas. Next week we're back from Highline, Kansas. What do you think about Kansas, and can you get another podium finish, or can you grab the checkers for yourself?
I will do the same thing we always do. We'll show up. We'll try to get some wins. I don't know if we will, but I'm sure it's going to be pretty snug there too. Clean air is going to be real dominant there as well, especially whenever that top side comes in. It's going to come in, try to keep it out of the wall and keep it pointed the right way, but we'll see whenever that comes.
I do recall at Kansas Motor Speedway in these trucks, slide jobs, they can be huge in these trucks. Is this a track where you think you might be spending a little bit of extra time at this week getting prepared, or you feel pretty comfortable and confident already?
I'll probably just show up come Sunday. Practice really ain't my thing personally, but I'll just show up Sunday and hope for the best.
Don't want to psych yourself out. I get it. No.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Congratulations on a P3 finish again this evening. We'll see you next week at Kansas.
Thank you, Pete. I got to shout out my teammates, by the way.
Be my guest.
Yep, shout out them. Shout out all the people that show up here at Turn Down for What, all the admins. You, Pete, for doing the broadcast. And then Team Watson Racing Setups for allowing me to be part of their team.
There you go. All right, moving on up to the not gonna be the east side. No, gonna move on up. Scott Rickard in that 05. Scott, you were very, very challenging on both the low and the high side. Saw you all the way around, whether it was way up high or down, kind of painting the white line with your left sides. Where did your truck feel the best throughout the race tonight here at Texas?
None. I'm not good here. I never would claim to be good here. I just wanted top 5 when I knew this race was coming for this race. So just getting out here in top 5 has been what I wanted at least. So whoever got me there.
There's a really, really nasty bump right in the middle of 1 and 2. You've either got to go really high around it or you've got to go under it. In qualifying, I do recall seeing one truck that hit that, and the back end just completely kicked out, and they ended up walling their machine. How treacherous was that corner?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, especially once it tightened up on the longer after like the second run and on. The first run, the 3 and 4 was so sketchy because you were so wide open, so loose, and then it started to cool off and tightened up. So yeah, a little bit better handling throughout the race.
So, question for you: Legacy Texas or the new Texas?
Legacy all day.
I'm right there with you. All right, so Kansas Motor Speedway next week. A little bit more banking, a little bit faster. As Austin Collins just mentioned, very much a highline track. How do you prepare yourself to run the wall at Kansas Motor Speedway next week?
I just do what I usually do when I run there and make sure not to hit the wall first, so don't get yourself damaged. And that's the main thing when you have to run the top there.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll see you in next week, not 2 short weeks, no break in between. But any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to shout out, sir?
All my teammates, everybody puts the league on, and Team Boston Racing setups.
There you go. All right, moving on up. And yeah, this time, I tell you, 2 weeks in a row, Tom Harmon, you got it done 2 weeks ago at Rockingham. Very, very different track than Texas Motor Speedway, but you put Avril Lavigne in victory lane yet again in the Turned Out for What iRacing Truck Series presented by NAV. Buddy, walk us through your race, because it seemed like you spent a little bit of time in each, or it seems like you spent a little bit of time in each and every position throughout the field this evening before you ultimately settled for the checkers falling on your head.
Yeah, I started like 7th or 8th, somewhere in there. I don't remember. But a little bit back there in Dirty Air sucks.
Yeah.
But managed to save enough tire to work my way to second. And then caution come out and got hit, knocked into the wall into the caution. Somehow I didn't have any damage out of the deal, which shocked me. But had to work my way from the back of the pack from that, and saw Justin Pitt in that last run, and Scott pointed out it was kind of early, and we all kind of agreed. And then we just ran a little bit longer and had enough to run it back down. And thankfully, I had a pick on Scott.
Yep.
And Chapman, I thought he was going to dirty air me to death and end up holding me off, but he ended up running out of fuel once I got under him.
Yep.
And able to pull away and bring it home.
Yeah, I saw a few trucks really trying to save some fuel, absolutely shutting it down in 1 and 2, but not in 3 and 4. What's the benefit of only shutting down the truck? I know you're very, very good at saving gas. You're very good at saving tires, so that's why I'm asking you. What's the benefit of shutting it down in 1 and 2 versus 3 and 4, or not shutting it down at both sides of the track?
3 and 4 is a momentum corner. You got to keep your momentum up, otherwise you're just going to be slow through half of the track. But you can get away with it in 1 and 2. But yeah, you got to keep your momentum up in 3 and 4. There's just no getting around it. Even lifting a little too much for, to take a high side or low side, whatever lane you're not used to running, could kill your run.
Well, man, I tell you, you are masterful at a lot of these tracks, and like I said earlier during the broadcast, whether you're piloting your truck, an Xfinity car, a Cup car, the Gen 6 cars on Monday nights, or whatever you choose to pilot, you're very, very good at it. Able to save fuel, able to save gas, keep your nose clean for the most part, unless for some reason you get wrapped up in somebody else's mess. So congratulations on this win. Next weekend, Kansas Motor Speedway. Your thoughts?
Find a way to race where nobody else is running, and then we'll go from there.
Fair enough. All right, buddy. Again, congratulations getting it done last week at Rockingham, and again tonight here at Texas, going 2 for 2. We'll have to see if you can go 3 for 3 next week at Kansas Motor Speedway. Big congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. Any quick friends, family, sponsors you want to get out there, sir?
Oh, yeah. Thank you up in the booth for broadcasting it to everybody. All the fans that show up to watch the league and any of the other streams that happen to be going on throughout the night. All the drivers that show up each week. Papa Bear and his boy for putting everything on. And race control and admins and everybody, and the guys at TWRS, Team Watch Racing Setups, and Avril on the Hood.
Avril on the Hood. Never fails. I love it. All right. All right, ladies and gents, we will be back next week. Don't forget, no race tomorrow night. Charlotte Motor Speedway has been pushed off in the Shake and Bake iRacing Gen 6 Cup Series. So 200 laps in just a week's time. And again, next week, same bat time, same bat channel, right around 9 o'clock Eastern. Next Sunday night, it's the Turn Down for What iRacing Truck Series presented by the Network Alliance for Veterans at networkallianceforveterans.com. I'll go ahead and put their link out in the chat one more time. Don't forget, go ahead and share it with any veteran you know, irregardless of whether they're in or around the great state of Indiana or not. Any veteran of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or Space Force, copy it down, send it to your favorite or just a veteran that you know. You never know what kind of programs or benefits they may be able to pick up from Lieutenant Colonel Cecil Ross's service, or any others that he may know of as being a member of several communities himself. We will be back next week. Kansas Motor Speedway, be there, be square. Have a great night, everybody, and thanks for coming out tonight, whether it's on the land, in the land of Twitch or YouTube. Thanks for coming out.